if statements give us the ability to do branching in our programming. And branching, otherwise known as if statements, and these are quite useful. It allows us to, let's say we input something from the user gives us something and we store that in a variable, and what we can do is we can make the program respond one way if, of course, a certain condition is met, or respond a completely different way if that condition is not met. And this is all done with an if statement. So we're going to be looking at just a standard if statement, and then we're going to be looking at an if statement followed by the else part, and then an if-else if statement. And it's not that complicated, so you don't have to worry about that. As you can see, I've still got it under the tutorial 1 section, and all I've got in my program is a main. I've got a variable string called my name, and I'm writing out on the screen using console.writeLine, please enter your name. I'm reading in using console.read and storing the result in my name. And then after that we're going to do an if statement, so we're going to type if, and then space, open bracket, open parenthesis, and what we're going to write down is if my name, again remembering that it's cap sensitive, and with me capping the M and N I've got to do that as well. So if my name, and we put in two equal signs, and what this means in C# is it's a comparison statement. So we're going to check the left hand side of the statement of the two equal signs with something on the right hand side. So in speech marks I'm going to type in Riddler, like so. So if my name equals Riddler, and you'll notice I've capped the R, then what we're going to do is the next line in the if statement I'm going to use a open square bracket, and then what we're going to type in is we're going to type in console.writeLine, like so. I'm going to use an open bracket again, open parenthesis, speech marks, hello Riddler, something like that. And then I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to put a close square bracket. Now this open and close square bracket, what they do is they link segments of code. So that's telling the program C# that all the text in between this square bracket and this square bracket belong to this if statement, and they will only be run if my name equals Riddler. So if I was to run the program and I was to type in Riddler with a capital R, it says hello Riddler. However, if I was to type in Riddler without a capital R, it does nothing, because this is the problem, you see. What we have is we have Riddler, and because we used a capital, it will only recognize Riddler with a cap. Now I'm going to show you how to get around this. What we're going to do is we're going to compare the statement with a lowercase r, so Riddler. And then what we're going to do is we're going to convert my name to lowercase. And the way to do that is to do my name dot, and then you'll see that you can do to lower, open and close parentheses. Now if I run this now, I can type in Riddler, like so, and it says hello Riddler. I could put caps lock on and type in Riddler, and again it says hello Riddler. So this is one way that we can get an input from the user and make it so that it's not cap sensitive and not type sensitive. So now we've done this, we've got this if statement that detects if the user is Riddler, and if so, outputs hello Riddler. How about doing the else bit? What happens if it's not Riddler, we want a different message? Well, what we'll do is we will put an else in. Now this goes after the close square bracket, and we're going to do else, and then we're going to do an open square bracket again and a close square bracket, and again these two square brackets will link all the segments of code under this part of the else. And this time we're going to console.writeLine, you are not welcome. Goodbye, something like that. And when I run this now, if I type in any name, you'll see it says you are not welcome, goodbye. So all I'm now going to do is go over what this does. this actual code. We start off, of course, you know up to here, you know up to the input. So what it does is it checks my name dot to lower, so it gets the data in my name, it converts it all to lowercase, and then it checks it with the string riddler. And if they match, it will say hello riddler. But if they don't match, this is where the else bit comes in. So if they don't match, do what? Well, we want to console.writeLine, you are not welcome, goodbye. And that is what happens. Now I want to just go over briefly now programming structure in C# in the sense of something called indenting. Now an indentation, you'll notice here, namespace, then class. Now you'll notice that the class is to the right hand side, it's indented one tab space, like so, on namespace, and then the static void main is again indented in the class, and then all our code inside the main static void main again is indented, and then the code in the if statement is indented, and the same with the else statement. Now you can have your own preferences on how you want to indent. However, you really need to do this because it allows you to read through your code a lot simpler. You can just find things better, you can find what belongs to if statements, what belongs to classes, what belongs to procedures. And this is something you really need to get into the habit of doing. Gratefully, C# generally does this for you, and that is one handy thing of C#. But if this is where you're starting off in programming, you'll notice some languages don't do this, so it's just something to be aware of.